So it's fundamentally far more secure than traditional. The backing up and frankly leads to large amounts of corporate data loss. So again, from a management standpoint, hardware-based backup often requires dedicated administrators to look after it. Online backup can just be run by the users themselves. And so all of that nets a very significant cost advantage for online backup over hardware-based backup. And then for you, the reseller, from a margin standpoint, hardware-based backup gets you single-digit margins and once-off revenue. And it's expensive for you to run and expensive for you to make. With online backup, you can make up to 60% margin on a recurring revenue stream. So what we're trying to do is really convert backup from being a pain point in your business and a pain point in your customers' businesses and turn it into a subject through to technology, because I'm running a bit behind schedule today. This is traditionally where we get the most questions from the audience. So here we're looking at specifically stack. And our product's built around these four key concepts: protect, access, share, and manage. Protect is all about hardcore backup and recovery for your data. Access is about the idea that from anywhere in the world I can get at my data, I can access it in different ways, I can transform it, I can stream it, I can create photo albums. Share is about getting that data out to family or colleagues. And then management is about how I manage all of the different devices I've got backing up to the cloud. So if you're an IT reseller and you have 100 machines that you're managing, how are you going to do that? Well, we've got a built-in management framework you can leverage. So skipping through to some of the key features without belaboring the point too much, the product does continue to win many awards. We've been PC Magazine Editor's Choice Award winner for the last 5 years. So the product is very well regarded in the industry. Most of our customers, however, are actually driving white label versions of our product. So they wouldn't see an interface like the one you see in these screenshots. They would see a rebranded interface that's customized for each of our individual partners. So some highlights. Continuous data protection. The software's got a built-in CDP module, so it will actually intelligently listen on a given file, and whenever that file changes, back it up immediately. It doesn't poll, it's not using system resources, it installs a file system watchdog, and this is key. Contrast to the way most other systems work, where they'll be 15 minutes hogging a lot of system resources to analyze all the changes on the system, on what is really just a scheduled backup that's scheduled to run every 15 minutes. Unlimited computers. This is again a big differentiator. We don't charge per seat, and of course you're in charge, but we would recommend that you don't charge per seat either. What Mozy does is charges $3.95 per month for every workstation you connect to the network, and I think it's $6.95 per server, but I'd have to check on that. They've recently changed their prices, so that may be incorrect. But if you think about an environment where you've got 100 machines to be backed up, that customer's paying $4,800 a year without backing up any data, just to install the software. Then on top of that, you've got fees associated with the capacity that's being backed up. With SOS, you can install the product on an unlimited number of computers, and in fact, the product gets more and more powerful the more PCs that you back it up with. So the ability in this screenshot, you can see 6 PCs are being managed all from one central interface. And that's really vital in the small office or small work group environment, where from one console you can manage and manage the recovery and backup from all of those different PCs. I've got a question here from Yuri. Is there SSL capability? Yuri, not quite sure what you mean. It uses SSL to communicate with the cloud, if that's what you're talking about. Anyway, if you can clarify, I'll be able to answer, and I'll keep going until I hear more. Global roaming access, so you can access your data from any web-enabled device through a browser interface, whether that's Linux, Mac, netbook, notebook, iPad. We've also then got with Android coming this year. So Yuri's question is the client using regular FTP or FTTPS? Neither, Yuri. It's using our own transfer system. Free integrated local backup. So the system has its own local backup stack built into it. And again, being a backup company, we believe in having a backup to your backup. So we're not insisting that you adopt online backup and stop doing on-site backups. In fact, the very opposite. What we recommend is that you do off-site backups and continue to do on-site local backups. And we've built in a full local backup application into the product that allows you to back up to servers, back up to NAS, back up to disk devices, all on site, so that you have an on-site copy for fast recoveries, and then your most sensitive data gets backed up to the cloud. Just physical by sending the data. Time we can an unlimited version history. Customers who've got a file that changes every day and has changed for the last 4 years, so they've got over 1,000 versions of that file in our system. So how do you manage over 1,000 versions? Well, in this screenshot, you can see a little drop down where the customer is going to select which version. But here, most importantly, is our timeline recovery system. So you can just roll back and pick the day you want to recover your system as at, and recover the data with a few clicks. Very powerful system, very similar to Apple's Time Machine, which would have been a great brand for us to adopt. We had the functionality first, but we didn't trademark the term, although we used to call it Time Machine. Flexible scheduling, all the scheduling options you would imagine are in there: hourly, daily, weekly, monthly, and of course continuously, as we've already seen. One-click sharing, so all of your files and folders that have been backed up can then be shared straight from the cloud or straight from your iPhone. So I can browse my content in the cloud with my iPhone and then share it straight out to any of my friends. And then unlimited archiving. Archiving refers to the concept that if you delete the file from the PC, should the file stay in the cloud? Mozy and Carbonite take the approach that they should purge the data from the cloud because it's no longer backing it. It's no longer a backup. Whereas we take the approach that we should automatically archive it. And the reason we did that is that we discovered that more than 60% of single file recoveries in our system were coming from users who had accidentally deleted data. So if a customer's accidentally deleting data, the very last thing they want us to do is to purge that data from our cloud. So we've built archiving directly into the solution, meaning that that file that was backed up stays in the cloud until you explicitly delete it. David Daniels says, we've used another solution that did not purge properly, and so the data just keeps growing and growing. David, with the unlimited versioning system, you don't pay for versions. We wear the cost of those versions, so you don't need to worry about that. You don't need to worry about space management or cost management on that. The unlimited versioning is free. And with the archiving, you can easily just right-click any file from the cloud and explicitly delete it. So you've got, again, you don't have any concern there. Okay, Steve Snyder asks, how does the system handle SQL and other database systems which do not like individual file backup? So Steve, the solution uses VSS to do open file backups, including transactionally consistent backups of things like SQL Server. With Exchange, we've partnered with company Backup Exec to combine their solution with ours to do Exchange backup, so you can either do full database backup, information store level backup, or mailbox level backup with Exchange. So you've got a lot of flexibility. Although I will mention our CES service. Our most popular service when it comes to servers is our complex environment support service, which is a package for $25 a month per server, $300 a year, where we take over the full management of backing up a given server. Usually that would be one of your clients, but we would take over doing the backup and disaster recovery of that machine. And I think the reason that's been popular is it's just such a low cost. One of our partners, one of our first partners who helped us structure that offering, actually said to us that every time he touches a client, it's $100. So to have us fully manage the backup